Good morning everyone, welcome to the shop and welcome to a video that will probably feel very familiar. In the last video, I went to the junkyard and got a whole bunch of stuff for my E46. Well, in this video, I also went to the junkyard, got a bunch of stuff for the Maxima in the same trip. There it is. And there's also a whole bunch of the BMW stuff still here and some of the Ranger's floor stuff still here because I haven't finished filming those episodes yet. It's kind of an all at the same time sort of thing. Keeping the video file straight has been hell. And I still haven't cleaned the floor because all this stuff is in the way of squeegeeing that stuff out of the... Yeah, anyway. So here's what I got at LKQ, and this, as well as the BMW stuff, was less than $100 altogether. We have some headlight retaining clips and a new plug for the driver's side because the plug is completely trashed. One of these clips was missing. I grabbed both because why not? We've got some hinges. These are from the passenger side because the passenger side gets used less. And these are going to go on the driver front door because mine has sloppy pins and this is just easier. We have a cup holder because mine is broken. This part has broken off so it does not stay in the car. As soon as you try to open it, it just flies out. We've got this snazzy coil cover here. It's red and it looks OEM, but when I asked people, hey, what does a red coil cover denote? They said what it means is someone painted the coil cover red. And to be fair, it looks like they did a pretty good job, at least under all the dirt. We'll see what it looks like. I'll put it on. Looks snazzy. Also found this strut tower bar, which, yeah, someone said it might be a name brand, but I kind of doubt it. It's got, I don't know what's up with those washers, but they look terrible, so they're gonna go, if at all possible. And then these floor mats that I'm kneeling on, they match the car. They're the same color as the interior. They're kind of dirty. I vacuumed them a little bit, but I'll do the stains some other time. I just want to get this done because Cars and Coffee's tomorrow, and I'm taking the Nissan. Also, this thing, I actually had Chris help me get this off because somehow I didn't have the right size wrench for this when we went to LKQ. But also, that's red Loctite. Screw you, whoever put that on the car that I got all this stuff off of. So, in this episode, we're going to be putting all this on. Those are probably going to happen tomorrow, though, because that is miserable. Here's what we had to do to the car at the junkyard to get those off. Slight modifications necessary. In the meantime, let's just get the coil cover cleaned up and take that strut bar apart and have a look. A little bit of the old degreaser. I hope that doesn't damage the paint. If this was spray painted, the degreaser might actually be a bit too aggressive. Oh yeah, definitely painted. Is this melted? I thought that was just the shape of it, but it looks like it's melted. Oh well. I don't know how on earth that could have gotten like that. We'll compare it to mine when we take it off. I might not actually use this though. Ooh, yeah, that's neat. Not exactly what you want. Let's shelve this for now. I'm gonna take a look at that strut bar. Looks like 14. What is this guy? 8. Oh, I see. They were trying to take up extra space here. Not entirely sure why that's necessary. This should just, that should just kind of pull itself together, won't it? I'm confused. Let's verify my claims. Yeah, it just cinches itself up. So why the janky hardware? Do I even care? No, it's just an extra washer for my washer bucket. Works for me. And this one was on the outside, so it wasn't even doing anything. People confuse me. Might hit this whole thing with a wire wheel. Let's take this other end back off. These clean up okay, I think. Mind your own business. Well, that's not so bad for a few minutes work. It's got a pretty even, nice shiny surface, so I think I'm okay with that. Let's go plop it on in the car. Yeah, this song and dance is all pretty straightforward. That was over-tightened. You know how I said straightforward about 30 seconds ago? And the car just goes and proves me wrong? Oh yeah, they just over-tightened the hell out of it and stretched the stud a whole bunch. Cool. This is a pretty poor strut bar in my mind for two reasons. The first of which is the paint started flaking off just by tightening down the nuts. So not powder coated or anything, not exactly quality. The second reason is this doesn't constrain the strut towers in as many ways as I'd like, which admittedly is how the one is on my BMW, but here's why that's a problem. So all this is doing right now is constraining this strut tower in one dimension, and that's this way, but only relative to the strut tower over there. What you could do to fix that is to not allow this to float like this. Because if you consider what this is making the strut towers a box like this, strut tower being the top of that box. Now it'll keep the sides from going like this, but it can't stop the box from doing this or this, as it were. So you really don't get all the benefits that you could from having something here, but still better than nothing, and people tell me it actually makes quite a bit of a difference on these cars, so sure. Yeah, that is definitely looking a good bit less melted than the other one, so I think I'll just leave mine on here. Ah, look, it's one of our other issues. There's nothing holding this crappy little LED headlight in here. This is definitely, yeah, not my first pick. I don't really love LEDs in halogen, especially reflector housings like this, but this is just such a cheap old one that it's much worse. I'll probably just get better LEDs in here at some point. This car doesn't really get driven enough for me to even use the headlights, so I'm not terribly worried about blinding a whole bunch of people because not a whole lot of people are going to be exposed to this thing at night. Though, it would be fun to retrofit these headlights. Clear front lenses, or just get some new ones and retrofit those, get some more Moto stuff. Leave a comment below if you want to see me try my hand at retrofitting projector headlights. Could be fun. Problem is, baking them apart is always a pain. Anyways, let's go get our replacement ring and fix this issue. Let's see if I can even show this correctly. So the interesting thing about these LEDs is they actually have an adapter ring built into them. So if oh, and then this plug needs to be replaced at some point. So this adapter ring goes into the headlight somehow. Keep spinning. There we go. That just clicked in. And then this little retaining clip goes over it. Oh, there we go. Wow, that is tight. That is next level tight. Now I can put this off and this back in. There it is. Yep, all tucked away or what? Words are hard. But the headlight's in there now at least, so there's that, I guess. Okay, next up, cup holders. Pretty straightforward, just needs a little bit of cleaning. This isn't interior detailer, but hey, it cleans stuff, sort of. Yeah, see, it doesn't have soda all over it anymore. That's all you can really ask for. Well, it's pretty far from perfect, but I'm not a detailer. Oh, got caught. So here's the problem I'm having with mine. If I try to open it, it just kind of falls out. So here's how we install this. Now I want you to pay close attention because this is very, very tricky. I'm going to choose to ignore how disgusting it was under this for my own sanity, but now I can open and close my cup holders. The wonders never cease. I just realized this car does actually have floor mats. I did not notice that. Oh wait, no, that's not a floor mat. That's just the floor. Never mind. There's a floor mat over here. Ugh. It looks terrible though. How are the ones back here? They exist. Well, certainly not the best thing in the world, but they say Maxima on them, so that's cool. I'm about to make everyone mad by putting this in here without washing it first, but it's cold outside right now. Too cold for this to air dry, so that's not gonna happen at the moment. Hey, not bad though. I mean, not the best, but does it still have the hook? It does still have the hook. Look at that. That's OEM right there. How's it feel? Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Yes. Well, I have to admit, I'm kind of proud of this solution. We've got a Harbor Freight trans jack, one of the rear floor mats, and a Harbor Freight ratchet strap to hold the door upright and in place. This isn't incredibly tight, but it is fairly tight. And we're gonna replace these hinges in here. As far as tools go, I got a 10 mil, 12 mil ratcheting, 12 mil offset. So we're just gonna start with the stopper here, which comes off super easy. Thank you, Nissan, for making all of your front door hinges exactly the same. Okay, never mind. These are actually stamped right upper and right lower, but they transfer side to side, no problem. So there's that. I legitimately thought they were all the same part number. On Nissan's website, you can only find one side listed, and I believe that's because all the sides are the same. So now it is ratcheting 12 millimeter time, and we're gonna get these off. Pretty straightforward. I'm gonna put the camera down and get to work. Here are the hinges that came off. They are RU and RL as well, so I guess it doesn't matter, but they feel like junk. Terrible. Here's the new ones. Nice and smooth. And these are off of the right-hand side of another car with lower miles, so these don't have a whole lot of use in them. And what's nice about this whole system is as you can see here, there's a centering bushing, and on there are centering lugs. So there's no adjustment in these hinges whatsoever, which means this should go back together and line up perfectly. So let's get the new ones on and see if that hypothesis actually turns out or not. So what you just saw was me messing up. Apparently RU and RL does not mean upper and lower. So I had them on backwards, but thank you to the transmission jack. This could not have gone on any smoother. So I'm just gonna tighten that down so that the door doesn't open too much while I'm fiddling around with it. And we can, wrong way. Tighten these guys down. Oh, and I gotta get that grommet works back in place. That'll be fun. Moment of truth. How does everything line up? Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh, and it opens right up. I forgot to show you how much play was in this, but there was probably a ½ inch of up and down, and it is completely solid now. Wow. That is how a door should close on an early 2000s or late 90s. Luxury, compact-ish, mid-sized-ish, front-wheel drive sport sedan thing. I'm pretty darn happy with that. So there we have it. That's all the things that I wanted to do for now to the Nissan Maxima. It has headlights again, as terrible as they are. We've got our strut tower brace, and I did take a trip around the block. And this did make it feel a little bit more solid, which I attribute less to the strut tower brace being any particularly good and more to this just kind of being a floppy kind of car. I mean, remember, this thing weighs under 3,000 pounds. And for how big it is, that's kind of impressive. Under 3,000 pounds for all this goodness. And hey, now we have such luxuries as door hinges and a cup holder and a floor mat. Singular. Pretty impressive. Thanks for watching.